Hi, welcome back to the channel. It's Ian from Off Grid with Penny Glen Cabin Life. Before we start this video, the camera I'm using is a Canon 70D and the lens I'm using is the 50mm, which is the nifty 50 they call it, and I've also got the Rode Mic Pro on as well, that I'm using as well. So I'll get into the video now. The time is, let me just reach across, 2:56 AM. I'm up bright and early. Well, to be honest with you, I'm up bright and early because I've not been in bed yet. I just can't see. I'm overtired, I think. I think that's what it is. Today's topic is living off grid the right decision while suffering with bipolar? Now, for me, those of you who know me on the channel know that I suffer with Manic Depression, which is now called bipolar. I've lived off grid for about nine and a half years in this cabin. I've been very happy. I can't say in any way I've not been unhappy, because I have. I've now got to the point where I'm extending the front of the cabin to give me a bit more space, but I suffer with manic depression, and sometimes it can be very difficult living off grid, and sometimes things are better. It's like I don't have a TV. I listen to the radio and I watch my iPad. I watch YouTube channels and I've got Netflix that I watch on my iPad. But like, there's difficult things, like if you live in a house, then obviously if you want hot water you just click the immersion heater on, or you have a combi and you've got instant hot water. If I want hot water, I've got to boil the pans and then I've got to use whatever water I've got from boiling the pans to do the washing up and everything. I do washers and things like that. But before I can get the hot water, I've got to get the stove burning away my log burn. Well, it's a multi-burner stove, so I get it going with wood and paper, and then I stick the coal on and wood on top, and it lasts for quite a while, and I've got to keep topping it up. But I buy my coal in. I have a coal merchant that comes once a year. Well, he comes every other year now. I get a big supply of him. And if I want wood, then I go into my woodland and I chop a tree down, and then I cut it up. I try and get the dead ones, chop it up, and then I use my axe and I split the wood, and then it goes in the fire. And end of the day, it's time consuming doing that, and it takes a lot of energy, and it is unbelievably tiring, because I've got a lot of health problems. As people's watch the channel, they know I suffer with a lot. So for me it can be hard work, because I've got to go up the lane in either my dumper truck, or I've got to go up with my quadzilla with the trailer, and I've got to barrow out all the wood that when I chop up in the woodland, it's got to come out the woodland, so I've got to barrow it all in, barrow all the wood and then barrow it all the way out, if that makes any sense. I know what I mean. So, and then stack it up, and then I've got to then unload it all into the log stores. Because what a lot of people do is, when they get the logs that they've got from the woodland, then they split them straight away and put them in the log stores. Well, I find that can be a bad philosophy, because if you split the wood, then when it comes to using it, you just start piling it all in your box. Or I'll fill it all up and I've got it, and then you tend to burn more wood. But what I tend to do is I keep the big logs and I stack them all up. They still dry out the same, it takes a bit longer, but they dry out. And then each day as I need wood, I get my axe and I split it, and I just split enough for that day. And it works out for me that the wood lasts longer by doing it that way. But it is very time consuming thing to do. But like, for me, living off grid is jackpot, because I suffer with like mood swings and I suffer with depression. I get depression quite a bit on and off. It's not, I don't get depression because of the life I live. I get it because of what's wrong with me. So living off grid's a good thing now. If I lived, for myself personally, if I lived in a town or a city, then I know from the past I'll get ill again, because there's a lot of pressure surrounding you that a lot of people don't feel or realise. You just get up in the morning, go to work, come home, tea, family, do whatever, bed, start the cycle again. Well, for me that's too much pressure. I find that hard. So me living off grid, I'm my own boss. I have studs that come in with my stud dog, so I get some money with that, and then obviously I get the money from YouTube now and Patreon that you kindly support, and other people give donations and everything. And I'm careful with my money. I have 2 litres a year, and the money I get from that, it sustains me. I only have my council tax and then a few bits and bats I've got to pay for, like coal and things like that, so I can live a cheap life on a low income, and I'm happy with that. So I can survive, and that's all that matters. I used to be somebody that chased the pound. I used to do, I had carpet cleaning business, and I had other things as well. And I worked hard, and I earned good money. But it left me with having a heart attack, and my health has never been right since that. So for me personally, living off grid is the answer, because it solves all my problems. I plod around at my own pace, and I get things done. Now, just because I feel it's the right thing for me, then I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you should go off grid if you suffer with manic depression. Because it might not be right for you, because some people don't like the isolation of being on their own. For me, I might not see nobody for weeks, and that doesn't bother me in the slightest. I like my own company, so it don't bother me. But some people like company with people, some people like companionship. And living off grid, that can be stressful if you're in a relationship as well. That can cause a few problems. Yeah, so the pressures of life are different. So it's very easy to get depression when you're on your own. But the one thing I would say, one of the things that's most essential if you did decide to ever go off grid, you might laugh at this, is to get unlimited internet. Now my internet is wireless internet that I get from the mast at Stranraer. I've got a little device, and I've got a SIM card in it, and it gives me a good internet connection. And that's how I manage to upload these videos, and that's how I can watch Netflix and stuff like that. And I just pay for an unlimited SIM card. So it actually works out cheaper than what it would do probably to go to someone's house with a BT line and all the package you have to have and everything. So I'm happy with that, and the unlimited internet is if I feel that I want to speak to somebody, I can do a video call to my brother or my sister, something like that, and I feel like I've had company. It's like to me it's like somebody's been here and I've had company, so I feel great. You also need to have other things as well. You need to know that you can get food in. You need to know that if anything happened, you can get help and support. You need to know transport if anything were to happen. Now, I also, like I say, with things wrong with me, I have epilepsy. So I can't have a driver's license. So for that, well, they've told me if I don't have a fit now for 12 months, I can apply for a license. But I'm never going to apply for a license, because the way I see it, I could be 2 years now without a fit. I could be driving down the road in my car, I could have a massive fit, hit a car coming in the other direction and kill somebody. So for me, I'd rather not. I've got a pedal bike I've ordered, I'm waiting for a bike to come. It's an electric bike, I've been waiting 6 months for it. And I don't mind going on the road with a pedal bike, because I know if I feel funny I can just pull straight over and I'm alright, because I always know when I'm going to have one, I can feel it coming on. But when you're in a car, you haven't got that. If you're driving down the main road, you can't just pull up. So I've got that coming, so I'll have a bit of transport with that. I also get Asda delivery, so I'm lucky because in the last 12 months they've started doing delivery in this area. It's the only supermarket so far that is properly doing delivery in this area. So I've got that. Now, if I also needed to get to Stranraer for anything desperately, then I can get a taxi, but it costs me a lot of money. If I want a taxi to come and pick me up and take me to Stranraer and then bring me back again, it costs me £22. So it's a lot of money for a taxi. So, but they're things you have to look into as well by going off grid. You need to know about your internet connection. You need to know you can get supplies like coal. If something happened, can you get wood delivered? You need to know you can get your food delivered if you can't drive for any reason with health problems. You need to know that you're okay. You need to know that you can get a plumber if you need one, an electrician. You need to do anything like that. I'm very lucky. I've got a plumber that when I ring, he comes out virtually that day. He's really good with me. And when I've had other things wrong with me, I've got a really good neighbour that I think a lot of with Richard and his wife Heather, who's next plot up from me. And if I get stuck with something, they just come down and help me. They're really good with me, to be honest. So I can't wish for better neighbours, so thank you to them if they're watching this. So there's a lot of factors you need to take into place. And me personally, if I was making a recommendation, then I would say if you suffer with manic depression, schizophrenia or anything with depression, then yes, I would consider going off grid. But you have to take the factors into consideration that I've said. So you need to know that you're going to be okay. There's a lot of things. It's like I've got a big first aid kit, and I was going to do a video. I might do a video in a few days of my first aid kit. And if I became ill, I know with the stuff I've got, I can patch myself up until I can get out to get help. I know that. That's why I've got a lot of first aid stuff. So, but yeah, always have a big first aid kit. At the end of the day, if I've got an open wound and I need to put some disinfectant on, I've got a lot of whiskey above to pour on me. So my dad will be complaining if he sees that. He always said if I croak it before him, he's going to come and take all my whiskey. I can believe that as well off my dad. So, right, well listen, I'm going to leave you all in peace. You stay safe and you stay well. And remember, don't ever forget, dinky doo. Stay safe, stay well. Today's topic is living off grid. Is that the right thing? No, I've got to do that again.